The techniques and advice on this DVD are designed to be an adjunct to your normal fitness routine, and the advice in this DVD shall not be a substitute for the regular medical advice from your physician or practitioner. Consult your doctor, practitioner before using this or any other regime of exercise. Getting into a pool and doing underwater yoga on a daily basis is so much fun, and it's a great way to do moderate exercise without injuring or harming your joints. The water is becoming the new gym. Hello, I'm Dr. Krista Marie Alongi. I'm a sports chiropractor specializing in longevity, fitness, and functionality. That is how well we function later on in our years. Many of my patients have needed additional exercise routines to supplement their chiropractic care, creating more joint stability. Our self-directed movements create core muscle, tendon, and ligament stability, and are easy and relaxingly done in the comfort of a warm pool. Recommended 4 to 5 feet deep, approximately 90 to 97 degrees Fahrenheit. All movements must be made gently but firmly. The benefits are 1. Reduced stress, 2. Reduced pain, 3. Building strength, 4. Building elasticity and flexibility, and 5. Repairing soft tissues. This is a unique, personalized regimen of motion that helps you heal yourself. This movement is more restorative than any other. I'd like to introduce to you my friend Ed Frey, who is the developer of underwater yoga and has been practicing for 5 years in developing these exercises. He has some amazing surprises and is going to show you the effects of underwater yoga. Hi.
Hi. I want to tell you about a system of movement, body movement underwater that will make you stronger each day. A little bit stronger, a little bit more elastic, a little bit looser in your joints, and take away your pain. Each day you feel better and stronger and more at home in the world if you do it. Let me tell you first a little bit about how I came to practice this, what we call underwater yoga. I was an athlete as a child, but not a very good one. I was an average athlete. Played baseball on baseball teams at high school and so on. But I never got too far ahead. But then also during my youth, I had a lot of accidents and injuries. Bicycle accidents, I was hit by cars twice on a bicycle. I got my teeth knocked out by a baseball. I got in fights and all that sort of thing. One time I was in a fight and I was so bad off that I could not walk after the end of the fight. Obviously I didn't win that one. Anyway, some parents and friends came along and they picked me up and they carried me to the car and they took me to a chiropractor's office. And I was about 14 then. So ever since then I've been a fan of chiropractic because that chiropractor put me back together. As I was older, another chiropractor in a new place where I moved to told me I had the stiffest back he's ever worked on. And he's worked on thousands and thousands of backs. And he treated me for about 10 years. And then he told me finally, more like 15 years, he told me finally, Ed, he said, I can't go any further with you. He says, you've got the stiffest back I've ever seen, and I'm afraid if I loosen you up on top, that it's going to leave this bottom too unstable, or vice versa. So we're kind of done. I thought, wow, that's too bad. Here I was 62 or 63 years old, and no help from a chiropractor anymore. And I'm a strong believer in chiropractic, but he said he was just too afraid to go any further. So what I started to do was swim. And that always made me feel good throughout my whole life, swimming. And it did. It made me feel a little better. And then I would start at the end of a lap to take a rest in between laps. I put my hands up against the wall. Sometimes I'd grab hold of the railing if there was one there. And I would stretch a little bit. And I discovered I could, underwater especially, my joints were loose because there's no gravity under there. So if I could move in a certain way, I could go right to where the pain was, and by stretching or twisting or pulling just a little bit more, my mind and my brain and my mind and my body became one. And they sort of merged. And so I discovered that I was able to loosen up these stiff joints and get rid of some of the pain. And each day that I did it made me feel a little bit better, a little bit more elastic and a little bit stronger. So I kept it up. I found that I could become my own chiropractor in essence, because I was, when a chiropractor makes the adjustment to you, you hear this crack, it's like cracking your knuckles. There we go. Well, you can do that all over your own body if it needs to be done, wherever it needs to be done. But what it takes is the willingness to go under the water, and I'm talking about completely underwater. Put a plug on your nose, put some earplugs in if you want, but you got to go under the water to get the full benefit of this technique. And you can grab hold of the bars then and push against the walls and the floor in every angle of the gyroscope with your body. Whatever it takes, your body will just take you there. What happens is that you're loosening up. You're able to loosen up these areas of adhesion, or others call them fixations, little dead spots in your body. Your muscles are contracted maybe, and the connective tissue is dried, and the tendons and so on. Everything has gone sort of asleep. And as a result, you have a little bit of a limp. And it gets worse each year as you go on and get older and older. But that doesn't have to happen. You can reverse that. You can feel better every day instead of a little worse by doing these stretches and so on under the water. You got to go deep inside. You got to be willing to just relax. And that's not that difficult, because underwater you feel like if you let go, just kind of surrender, and you're underwater, you can just feel like you're floating out in space, floating in through the universe, because you're buoyed up by the water. So what happens is your joints loosen up tremendously, and that means you're able to stretch and twist and flex in ways that you never could up above water. And so that leads to amazing results. The important point here is, the crucial point is, you are your own physician, your own chiropractor. You've heard the old saying from the Bible, physician, heal thyself. This is what this is. It's really a continuation of chiropractic treatment, because chiropractic treatment is going in the right direction. It's loosening up the joints that are stiff and putting them where they're supposed to be. But the difference between getting chiropractic treatment from a doctor and doing it yourself is that you have to use your own musculature, your own muscles. So you're developing those formerly dead muscles or inactive muscles, and you're bringing them back to life yourself. And you're getting and so that when you adjust your own spine, it's not going to do what happens so often when you go to a chiropractor and the chiropractor adjusts your spine. The next day, it kind of falls back and you need to go back to the chiropractor. This time, you do it yourself, you're developing the muscles that support the vertebrae, support the joints, whatever part of your body we're talking about, so that your own muscles make it possible to hold you in a better position each time you do this. And so that's the magic of it, doing it yourself. You build the muscle along the way, and you take your body into positions it's never been in before. But since your body is able to go into these positions, that tells you you ought to go into these positions because you got the muscles for it, you got the joints for it. And if you want to make your body fully alive, that's what you do. You go into these positions and you bring your body more and more alive every day so that everything's flowing better. Nerves, blood, whatever, all the fluids, and I have none of the technical terms, but all I know is it brings you back to life, and it does it every day.
In underwater yoga, the effects of gravity are diminished. The water actually floats you up because it is so dense. And the water in our cells, which we have 70% of water in our bodies, is buoyant and floats in the water of a pool. And this takes a lot of weight-bearing load off our joints while we stretch comfortably.
And your mind and your body merge, and your body will take you right to where the pain is. And all you do, being always, at all times, be gentle but firm in your movement, is you just go right with the pain. You work it out and you work it out. And the reason why you get such good results on this is when you get a release at the end. And when you get that release underwater, unlike when you're doing yoga above water, when you do that in the water, the release is so profound because your body is like a fish's body. It's unattached, and it's allowed the reaction, the response to that magical, explosive release is that it allows your body to be like a fish body. And that, for some reason, that releases more of the pain than you get when you're doing any stretches or twists above water.
These exercises and movements are anaerobic in nature. Anaerobic exercise is scientifically proven to increase growth hormone and the production of testosterone. So these movements are scientifically proven to help build and maintain muscle mass, which will increase your functionality. That is how well you move and function in the world. The breathing and calming effect of these techniques help your mind get into a more meditative state, which is stress reducing, also decreases blood pressure and pulse rate, and improves mental clarity.
only the person himself or herself knows where the pain is and knows exactly how much pressure, how much of a pull or a stretch or a twist or a flex that the body needs in order to deal with the pain. You go right to the pain and you stretch it and you pull it, and then you get your release. And when that happens, it's happening because you yourself have guided it.
Watch closely and mimic the exercises, and watch the DVD over and over again until you get comfortable with how to perform the movements in the water.